Numerous studies have shown that video has got a huge ROI for online marketing. So the big question is, can you use SEO to get more clicks to your video? And the answer? Resounding yes, you certainly can. So today's tutorial, I'm going to get into video SEO and specifically how to do YouTube keyword research. Let's get going. Hi, I'm Daryl Mordecai from Rank Ranger. Rank Ranger is an all-in-one SEO and digital marketing platform that will help you scale your business through data and analytics. Okay, so you want to get traffic from YouTube. Great idea. Now there's one small problem. YouTube does not publicize any of their data, which means this. How on earth are you going to know if any of the search terms that you're going to create videos around have any search volume? So without YouTube giving you that data, you really just don't know. And yeah, I understand there are tools that claim they know the search volumes. Now, because they're not getting it from YouTube, they're getting it from another source. This is all clickstream data. Now, Rank Ranger does not use clickstream data, and the reason we don't is clickstream data is synonymously inaccurate. So maybe you could look at those tools. Why not? I mean, they're going to give you some picture, but know that it's inaccurate. So we're going to have to do a little bit of good old-fashioned detective work, okay? And I'm going to suggest using 3 sources of data, okay? Put them all together holistically, and that's going to give you a fairly good picture as to whether there's search intent, and search intent means there's going to be search volume, okay? So let's jump in here. So these 3 are going to be, the first one is going to be Google search. Now, I get it. Google search is not YouTube. True. I'm going to explain why we're going to look at it in a minute. Okay? Second source of data is YouTube Autosuggest. And the third source of data is one of my favorites, Google Trends. Okay? Let's get going. Okay, so here's the first step of the process, as I mentioned before. The first thing I'm going to look at is Google search. So the way to do that is to break out your keyword research tool. So here I am in the Rank Ranger keyword research suite. And what I'm going to start looking for is general themes, general topics. I just want to know the kinds of things that people are looking for, the kinds of questions people are asking. So the easiest way to do that is to scroll down to the questions tab. So let's look at questions. Okay, now just to let you know, I've typed the keyword local SEO. So let's say we were going to make a video about local SEO. So here is a list of 187 questions that people are typing into Google. Okay, we can also get a sense for which are the most searched questions. For instance, what is local SEO? That gets 720 searches on Google per month. Okay, what are local SEO citations? That gets 110. Not huge search volumes here, I must admit. What is citation in SEO? That one gets 1,000. What are citations in SEO? 1,300. So there, this isn't a hugely searched topic in in Google in the US. However, what I am getting a sense for is there is some search intent, there's some search volume for this. It's a little bit niche, maybe. Maybe it's a niche, a small niche within a small niche. So within SEO, local SEO. Yeah, whoa. I get it. Why on earth am I looking at Google if really we're looking for search volumes for YouTube? And if you ask that question, you are spot on, absolutely right. So this is why I do this, okay? It's just one part in my general research process. This is my thinking. On the whole, with not for all terms, but for many terms, there's probably a very similar search intent. Now, for instance, I want to learn how to do SEO. Some people prefer written content. Some people prefer video content. It just depends upon how you consume that content. Now, I get it. Some things translate much better on video, like how to play a musical instrument. There, video is probably a better place to go, I guess. While the general thing like how to do SEO, that you could probably learn either place. But if you prefer consuming video content like me, so I'll go to YouTube. If you prefer reading blog posts, so then you'll go into Google. That to me is the general lay of the land, the way I see it. And therefore, I could probably get a lot of data if I just go into my keyword research tool and look at what people are searching in Google. Because at the end of the day, I can see from what they're typing into Google what they're interested in. And I can see from the general search volumes what topics have a bit more interest in them, what topics don't have so much interest. So I'm just doing general research here. I'm not trying to find any specific um, search volumes or anything like that, just more general information. Try to find good topics. Try to find queries that people, questions and things that people are asking. Do all of those things here. But don't stop here. Of course, don't stop here. Okay? Hope you got it. That's what I believe. That's why. Mystery solved. Okay. So now I am in YouTube. And as I mentioned, we want to now use YouTube Autosuggest. So the point here is we're looking for specific search terms that people are searching for in YouTube. Now, the reason I think Autosuggest is a great idea is because the Autosuggest, for sure in Google, they write that in their guidelines, is that the Autosuggest are big trending topics. So keywords that are trending. So now, the best way to do this, I think anyway, is start out just going for your head terms. So let's go with local SEO. So let's type in local SEO. Okay, very nice. So that's the head term. And as you can see, the top one is local SEO. And then YouTube makes a bunch of suggestions. So local SEO 2021, tutorial in Hindi, etc. So these are all suggestions that you can take. So we know there is some search volume in Google. Now we're going to take a look at what's trending in YouTube. Now, let's say you can't find something that you want to make a video about. Let's say you can't find anything interesting here. So I don't know, local SEO 2021, that's probably something about trends and something more current. Tutorial in Hindi, well, unless you're going to give it in Hindi, forget about it. Local SEO, Google My Business, that might be interesting. Local SEO full course, that also might be interesting, and so on. So let's say you just can't find anything here. What I want to do is get more suggestions here. This is a neat little trick. Go back into your search bar. You keep your local SEO open. Let's put a space there and put a little asterisk over here. And look what happens. What we're telling the search engine, this is a wildcard. Whatever you can suggest after our head term, suggest it. So, okay, most of these are the same. So let's take that out and put the wildcard, let's say, before now. So let's put our little asterisks there. And now look what happens. YouTube Autosuggest is suggesting common searches, now with the wildcard in the front. So now we're getting a whole lot of things before our head terms. So we've got outstanding 15 local SEO tools, Google Map citations for local SEO, how to do local SEO. Okay, Neil Patel, local SEO. Okay, what is local SEO in Hindi? Okay, that's one I think we saw before. But this is the way you search for specific search terms. Once we've got this, we should be able to come up with some search terms that have some sort of search intent. But let's look at one last place. Now what we're going to do is take a look at Google Trends. Okay, now before we get going, I like to set it to worldwide. This is the region here, Afghanistan or whatever. I'm going to set it to worldwide, unless you're a local business. If you're a local business and you're trying to rank for local terms, then obviously you should be selecting your country here. Okay, let's start out just for interest's sake, 12 months. And super important here, it says web search. Let's change that to YouTube search. Okay, because YouTube is obviously different to web search. Let's try a different topic. Let's say one that I enjoy, how to play bass guitar. Okay, so what we see is looks like a fairly stable topic. Yeah, maybe it's down a little bit, but who knows? This looks like a fairly stable topic over a 12-month period. Now,
just to know, these are not search volumes. These are percentages based on all the searches, looking at this search term in relation to those and seeing on a percentage level. So it's from 0 to 100, if it's trending or not trending. So at some point it hits 100. Generally, it's hovering around, I don't know, 50, 60, maybe 70. So that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so again, no search volumes. Let's see now, let's get a sense, a general sense for where this keyword's going. So over 12 months, it's been relatively stable, maybe it's down a teensy bit. Okay, so let's get a bigger picture here. So let's look at over the last 5 years. Very interesting. Okay, so now we're seeing a different story. Around 2016 to 2017, around August 2017, this was quite a popular trending topic. It's bouncing around there. People were very interested in it. And then suddenly, boom, it kind of plateaus off and then it's slowly trending downwards. Okay, so that's basically, if you want to start your bass guitar channel, this is the picture we're looking at. Now, just to get more context to this, let's look at some other search terms. So let's try how to play guitar. Very interesting. So how to play guitar, we're seeing kind of something similar. It's going pretty well, and then boom, it starts to trend down. Very interesting. What's also interesting is this blue line right at the bottom. That's how to play bass guitar, is right down here, and guitar. So in comparison, guitar is way more popular than bass guitar by a long shot. Okay, what's this note say? So it says an improvement to our data collection system was applied on 8th of the 5th, 2017. Okay, that makes sense why there was a sudden drop in all the terms, in both how to play guitar and bass guitar around that time. So there's an issue of the data itself, but we're seeing the trend is trending downwards for both terms. Okay, let's just before we remove this term, let's try a few more instruments to play drums. So the guitar one, the red one, is actually confusing us. So let's just get rid of that for a second. Okay, this is where the note happens. So this data is not as accurate. Also slowly trending down. We see both instruments slowly trending down. So I'm wondering if what this actually means, if this means that in terms of trends, how to play instruments is becoming less popular on YouTube, or perhaps there are other topics that are becoming more popular. It's relatively stable, nothing exciting, nothing trending. Okay, let's say you're hell-bent, you want to create your YouTube bass guitar channel. So now, okay, how to play bass guitar gets this amount, fine. Okay, these are regions. It's only relevant if you are a local business. Okay, now let's look at one more thing. Let's start to dig in a little bit here. So these are related topics. Now, none of this is the related topics I've noticed aren't that useful for us. Attention, it's a song. Davey504 is a bass guitar guy on YouTube, West Africa. These are probably all songs. Maybe Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers. That might be interesting if you want to do a how-to video on that. So it might be an interesting topic. Okay, Bass the Fish, forget about it. Rhythm guitar, no, because we're into bass. Master Puppets album, no, nothing to do with us. This is a song. Okay, so these are really not that relevant. You could dig around here and find something relevant. Okay, let's look at the related queries. So Davey504 is a bass guitarist himself. He's doing well. How to play electric guitar for beginners, not relevant because we're a bass channel. How to play Smoke on the Water on guitar, no. How to play just the two of us on guitar. So these are all guitar ones. So none of these are really that relevant. Let's just click through. Okay, here we go. Here's something that you could make a video on. How to play Another One Bites the Dust on bass. And it's plus 800%. So that's obviously doing pretty well on guitar. So how to play the bass also. So you see that you can find some interesting relative queries here, related queries. Okay, so that's it. That is my 3-step holistic approach to YouTube SEO. Just to quickly sum up, we had step 1, we looked in Google search. Again, why there? We just wanted to get a general sense for what people are interested in,
What are people searching for in general? What are the general topics? Once we've done that, we went to YouTube itself and looked at YouTube Autosuggest. What are we doing there? We're looking for trending topics from within the YouTube, the search engine itself. What suggestions is YouTube itself making? And then just to round out the data, off to Google Trends, and we looked at big picture things, big picture trends, and we were comparing some niches to other niches. And that gives you a pretty good holistic understanding of YouTube SEO and what kind of search volumes you can expect. Again, it's more of an art than a science if using this method. Nonetheless, it will pay back dividends. Great, I hope you loved the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm going to check out every single comment and hopefully I'll comment back. Okay, and I'll see you in the next one.